So, some unfortunate news. Kind of let the backyard cover crop go because it was just getting to be a bit much. And then I'll show you the front yard, but let's focus on the good stuff. Alfalfa here, obviously, that does pretty well in the shade, but it's this sunny area that just didn't take so well with the cover crop. So maybe the summer growing season is not the way to go for the cowpeas, buckwheat, and alfalfa. So I'm going to try again in early fall. And I'm pretty confident that'll work, and that'll give me some more time to till this again. That's another mistake I made. I didn't sow immediately after tilling, and I also didn't direct sow the cowpeas. I just sprinkled them on top, but those have to be about an inch or two into the soil. My elderberry is just, it's pretty awesome. Summer's pretty hard on it, but it looks really, really good. In the other months, and it just grows like a son of a bitch. So that's cool. And then, yeah, we got the two desert willows, the one over there, and then this guy, and some irises that are still holding on. When I got them from the college, they were like on their last limbs. They had just been sitting out, so trying to revise those. And then we got some pumpkins growing out of the compost pile, as always. This year I'm going to try to let them go, see if I can't get some crop out of them. And the other mistake I made was leaving the cover crop out here in the heat. And so I'll show you. Hi, Missy. I'll show you what happened with that. The seeds died. They got too hot. And so I retilled and re-sowed out front, but they just didn't take because they died. So yeah, kind of a letdown. None of my native stuff really took either. So obviously the soil is still really, really poor. So I'll probably take all of my compost and put it out here. But as far as, having bad soil, and I've kind of neglected the watering out here, the cover crop took fairly well if I had just remembered to direct sow the cowpeas, and if I didn't leave the, half the seeds out in the sun, I'd probably be doing all right out here. But I got these Vitexes sowed, and the funny thing about the Vitex is they bloomed practically their whole cycle indoors before I sowed them out here. And so once they got out here, it was already like pretty hot, and so they lost all their leaves, most of them. This one kept some of its leaves because it actually gets early shade, late afternoon shade from the house. But these two guys, they lost all their leaves. But they're still alive. And so, yeah, hopefully they'll bloom in the spring. And I'll get all this retilled and resowed. And I'll do it right this time. And yeah. And I actually got a whole 10-pound thing of wildflower seeds. I think maybe a bit prematurely, but they usually, I think they're good for like a few years. I was just feeling really antsy, really kind of bummed out because it was just kind of a letdown. So I was like, I'm just going to use. So I got this whole thing of wildflower seeds in there from American Meadows. 10 pounds. But they'll do all right if I sow them in the fall. But I really want to get the cover crop in there because the whole purpose of the cover crop is to enrich the soil. So I got to get a good round, at least one good round of cover crop before I put anything in there. So that's going to be late summer, early fall. So unfortunately, it's just going to be a few more months of this desolation. So yeah, that's where we're at.